It's Cal Poly and UC Santa Barbara, the championship match and a rivalry that runs deeper than ever. The Mustangs and the Gauchos are the last two women's soccer teams remaining in the Big West Conference, and it all comes down to today. The Mustangs have an opportunity here to clinch their first Big West title in 21 years. Welcome to Mustang GameDay. We're live at Swanson Studio ahead of a 1 o'clock kickoff down in Northridge, and we've got everything you need to know about today's matchup. I'm Amanda Alla here with my co-anchor Matthew Murin. What a game we have here today, Matthew.
As you said, Amanda, so little separates these teams going into the match, and it's going to be an incredibly tense match as we find out who is taking home that Big West Championship title and who will have to settle for second place in the conference. If Cal Poly win today, they don't just win the Big West, they also secure a spot in that NCAA tournament. But this season has not been straightforward for either team, and the Mustangs especially have had a season for the record books. They started the season 2-0-7 with 5 straight draws to begin the season, but that led them to go undefeated in their non-conference slate for the first time in program history. But they've been interesting draws too. It hasn't just been a 0-0 or a 1-1. They had a 3-3 draw versus UC San Diego, 2-2 versus BYU, 2-2 versus Nevada. So they came into the Big West undefeated, but that's where they took their first loss against, guess who, UCSB, and that was a tough one. But then after that, they only lost one more Big West game throughout the rest of the season, and crucially only had 2 draws, which led them to the second spot in the Big West Conference entering postseason play. And throughout the season, they found ways to close out games instead of taking the draws. And in the Big West, points matter, and getting the win, getting 3 points was a big part of Cal Poly's season. And then at the end of their Big West season, they won when it mattered. Cal Poly went on a run of 4 wins late in the season, shooting them up in the table and in position to take the Big West title. This past Thursday, down in Northridge, Cal Poly took down Cal State Fullerton 1-0 with a penalty smashed in by Jessie Halliday to put the Mustangs ahead, continuing her run of dominance this season. Halliday has 8 goals and 4 assists, leading the Big West this season, and Big West Offensive Player of the Year Annika Smith not that far behind with 7 goals and 3 assists. And meanwhile, Madeline Doherty absolutely crowding the stat sheet, 5 goals and 7 assists, leading the Big West Conference this season in points and with 7 assists. And so overall, those 3 lead the best attack in the Big West pretty much by far with 30 goals, 256 shots. But we'll talk more about how they've thrived this season later in the show. Both teams are in position to win the Big West here tonight, and UC Santa Barbara's postseason success has been both a surprise and not at the same time. As the 5th seed in the Big West Championship, the Gauchos had to play 2 matches to make the final, beating UC Irvine in the first round and then clawing their way past first seeded Cal State Northridge in penalties in the semifinal. At 13-4-5 this season, UCSB has one of the best overall records in the conference, and a lot of those wins came from their non-conference slate. But they finished just 2 points behind Cal Poly in the Big West, and the final match of the season is going to be a crucial one for both teams, and with the win, they can take the Big West title here today. But UCSB, there's no denying that they're a dangerous team. The fact that they beat Cal Poly earlier in the season, and they beat 2 very strong teams on their way to the Big West final, they have a stellar season record, and that means this matchup could really go either way. But Amanda, what does it mean for Cal Poly to get into the Big West Championship here this year? Yeah,
I mean, if we take a look back into the semifinal match, when they beat Fullerton down in Northridge, the Mustangs punched their 3rd ticket to the Big West Championship, like we said, in 5 years with the win over 3rd-seeded Fullerton. Earlier in the season, the Mustangs faced Fullerton in Spano Stadium and won 2-0, and then on Thursday, they tried to win once more. The first half was tightly contested, and after 45 minutes of back-and-forth play, it was clear that whichever team scored first would run away with the win. And in the semifinal match, it was the last minutes that decided the game. With just 15 minutes left in the match, the Big West Defensive Player of the Year, Brendan Cole, found sophomore Sienna Urzua with a cross 30 yards into the box, which she sent wide right. But on that play, Jessie Halliday was taken down by a Fullerton defender. After video review, a penalty was awarded to the Mustangs, giving them a key opportunity to bury the go-ahead goal. And with the championship berth on the line, Halliday placed a perfect shot in the bottom left corner of the goal, giving Cal Poly the lead. With that late game goal, Halliday became the Big West leader in both goals and points with 80 and 20 respectively. Despite their lead, the Mustangs needed to hold off a talented Fullerton team to secure the win. With the help of redshirt freshman goalkeeper Shannon Perubsky's 3 saves, the Mustangs kept the Titans scoreless, and Perubsky secured her 8th shutout performance of the season. With their win, the Mustangs will now face UCSB in Northridge later today in their rematch of the Blue-Green rivalry game. We'll have more on that matchup later in the show. And when we come back, we'll take a closer look at the man who has led this team to the top of the conference, head coach Bernardo Silva. Stick around.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. Getting my high school diploma was a catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher. When I look at all these success stories, I could not help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Welcome back to Mustang Game Day. I'm Amanda Alva here with Matthew Murin breaking down the Big West Championship matchup with rivals Cal Poly and UC Santa Barbara kicking off in less than an hour. Now we're going to take it over to one of our Mustang News reporters, Ty Soria, who is in Northridge right now ahead of the championship game. He was able to get an interview with head coach Bernardo Silva just moments ago. Let's take a look.
I'm here with head coach Bernardo Silva here at the Cal Poly versus UCSB championship match for the Big West. Bernardo, how have you been doing today?
Amazing. Super excited about the opportunity to compete for a Big West title. I think this is all the work that you put in since January in the off season. It culminates in being able to be prepared for a moment like today. And so we're really excited. The girls are ready and locked in. So yeah, I think the word excited is probably the best way to describe how I'm feeling today. Yeah, and with that, this is your second time going back to the Big West Championship final. How does it feel to be back here today after doing the same thing last year? I mean, it's pretty unreal, to be able to be in the championship game with 2 different squads, 2 different rosters, 2 different programs, different staffs, different group of players. It's pretty unreal. It speaks, I think, to the culture that we like to build as a staff. Wherever I go, I have a hashtag called Culture Wins, and here we are again. Our culture has won again, and it's allowed us to be in a position to compete for a title. So yeah, it's pretty unreal. Really excited. I think this is a tremendous group that deserves this opportunity to represent Cal Poly in the national stage. And so that's what we're aiming for, is to take care of business today. Yeah, and then going into the season, you guys took the first conference game. You took a loss 3-1 to Santa Barbara. How has this team evolved since then? Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think we have spoken with our team the last couple of days about that evolution. We're a completely different team, obviously. I think, when you put a group together, with 8 transfers, 6 freshmen, that's a lot of new players, new faces, and so it takes time to gel. It takes time for the group to figure out ways to win games together. And I think at that point we were still trying to figure that out. And so we're a completely different different team, more prepared, more ready to perform under expectations. And so it's been pretty cool to see their growth. And yeah, I mean, I don't really, whatever happened in that game, I mean, the 3-1 scoreline, I don't think it tells exactly what happened in that game. I thought they were a better team in the first half than we were. I thought we were the best team in the second half. They just found a way to put chances away, and we didn't, you know. So the scoreline kind of doesn't tell the truth of the game exactly. But yeah, we learned a lot from that game, and all the lessons learned, we've taken them and have been able to help us prepare for a moment like today.
Yeah, and then talk about, you know, going in today, a lot of these leaders that are seniors, they've been in this situation before. Talk about the leadership, how the girls have been doing coming into this game.
Yeah, I mean, we got an incredible group of 9 amazing seniors, and so they are the reason why we're here. We spoke about this with our team yesterday, about the level of curiosity, their humility. There's no egos in that senior class. They're all doing it for each other, and I think when you have a group that's playing the way we are playing for their seniors, success is just a byproduct of it. And so, yeah, to have this group of seniors in my first year at Cal Poly 2.0, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better group to help me lay the foundation. That's going to be here for a long time, and it's already inspired the younger members of the team, and it's going to inspire, you know, and allow for anybody else that comes in the next coming years. They're walking into something that is an absolute powerhouse sisterhood. So it's been incredible. I can't thank them enough, and we just keep talking about extending the season for them. One more meal, one more practice, and we want to be training at Door on Tuesday. And so that's the goal today, is to extend their season again.
Yeah, and then last thing for you, you know, you've been here since Thursday at the previous game. What have you guys been doing, you know, Friday and Saturday to prepare for this game?
Yeah, I mean, Thursday was a really intense match. There's a lot of external factors, a lot of stuff that was built into that game too that we had to manage emotionally. So it was a really challenging game emotionally. Obviously, Fullerton's a fantastic team. So Friday was just about recovering, rejuvenating. We stayed at the hotel. We did a workout. We have an amazing gym at the hotel. We stayed there. The players that needed to get a legit workout, they got a good workout. The players that needed to rest, they did that as well. So it was a good opportunity for us to reset. And then we just started scouting and making sure that we were ready for this, you know, for this game today. Yesterday we trained out here, making sure that we're adapted to the field, adapted to the conditions today. Obviously it's a little bit of a hotter day. But we're a program and we're a team that finds no excuses. So the heat's not going to be a factor for us. We're going to control the controllables. It's hot for both teams. We're fit. We're Mustangs. And we don't back away from any challenge. So we're really excited about today, and we've prepared the last couple of days, both from a rest standpoint and a scouting standpoint, I think, you know, really well, and our team is locked in.
Thank you so much, Bernardo. Thank you for coming on with us today.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Head coach Bernardo Silva, Cal Poly. Back to you guys in the studio.
Go Mustangs.
Thanks so much, Ty, for that amazing interview down in Northridge. That game is kicking off at 1 p.m. today. But after the break, we'll talk about some of Cal Poly's key players this season.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
It's Friday night y estamos activos. Head out early. Drinks flowing till 11 p.m. It's gonna be lit.
No sé qué pasó. I didn't even drink that much.
back on Mustang Game Day before the Big West Women's Soccer Championship here at 1 p.m. between Cal Poly and UC Santa Barbara. The three key players will be leading the charge for the Mustangs against the Gauchos today, starting with senior defender Brendan Cole.
Absolutely. Any team would be lucky to have a Brendan Cole on their side. She's a game changer on the Mustangs defense, playing that right central defender position. Just watching the Mustangs play, you see how the senior leads this back line. She's a 5'9" wall, a very physical player, and extremely versatile on the field. She actually played midfield for her entire college career here at Cal Poly, but when Coach Silva arrived, he tried out Cole on the defense during the spring, and they found a winning formula. But it's Cole's midfield roots that actually helped her become the Big West Defender of the Year this season. She has the ability to dribble out of pressure and carry the ball into the midfield with ease, setting up forwards and midfielders for success. She's also the designated kicker for long free kicks, and when she's not taking them, you'll find her in the box, ready to finish those air balls with her head. She already has 3 goals for the Mustangs this season. And off the field, her impact is just as strong. Her teammates say she's a great leader, a great friend, and a huge part of the sisterhood that defines this program.
But there's no forward in the Big West that passes the eye test quite like Annika Smith. She won Big West Offensive Player of the Year, just the second Mustang in program history to do so, and is the co-leader in goals in the Big West with 7, also adding 3 assists. But that's not where she shines most out on the field. It's Smith's speed and presence on the ball that sets her apart from everyone else in the conference. She can receive the ball 20 yards ahead of teammates, hold up play, and find the right pass to kick off Cal Poly's devastating attack, which leads the Big West. But as much as we talk about her intangibles on the field, her tangibles are also pretty impressive as well. There's a reason she's a co-leader in goals. Smith is ruthless in front of net and has converted clutch goals time and time again throughout the season, including 2 in a masterclass performance against Cal State Fullerton that I was lucky enough to be at. And Fullerton's nationally ranked defense, so just a few weeks ago that was a huge match for the Mustangs. But she's not alone at the helm of the Mustang offense, as her strike partner Jessie Halliday also has had a monster season this year.
Absolutely, yes. Senior Jessie Halliday now leads the Big West in goals with 8 after that game-winning PK we saw on Thursday. There's a reason why Cal Poly has one of the best offenses in the nation, and it's because of these 2 players right here. Halliday, a captain, a goal scorer, and a force in the attack. She was named to the Big West second team this season. She also leads the conference in shots taken, averaging nearly 4 per game, and she creates many of those chances for herself. She pressures high, puts constant pressure on defenses and goalkeepers, and that relentless and aggressive energy is what makes her so dangerous around the net. She keeps calm and creates game-winning chances up until the final whistle of the game. She is one of those game changers, and if she plays her game today, it is very likely she could score another goal in the postseason tournament.
But, you know, all of those 3 players really have to come together to get the Mustangs over the finish line here today. I mean, those strike partners in Halliday and Smith, they are so important to the success that Cal Poly has had this season.
Absolutely. I mean, just seeing Annika and Jessie, like Bernardo said, the top forwards in the nation, I believe it too, watching them play. It's just going to be a really exciting game against their rivals today.
Absolutely, but you can't forget about Brendan Cole, obviously, in the defense. She's the person that anchors this team, along with goalkeeper Shannon Porupski, who we haven't talked about as much, but has also stepped up this season. But those players all together really create this cohesive team that Cal Poly has had this year that has brought them a lot of success, not only in the Big West, but in non-conference games as well, where they went undefeated. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more on head coach Bernardo Silva here on Mustang Game Day.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Okay, so before we come over, can I ask a few questions?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, we have a dog, but she's little.
Do you have any unlocked guns around the house?
We do have a gun, but it's stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access. I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, of course. So does Friday work?
Sounds good to me.
All right, we'll bring pizza.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
Welcome back to Mustang Game Day. I'm Amanda Avila here with Matthew Murin, just ahead of the Cal Poly's Women's Soccer Big West Championship matchup.
Cal Poly recorder Rocco Brickler had the opportunity to get a deeper look at Cal Poly head coach's approach to the game this season.
Cal Poly women's soccer is in an unprecedented moment in their program's history. For the first time in 30 years, they have a new head coach, Bernardo Silva. And after a disappointing 9th place divisional finish last year, this change may just be what the team has been waiting for.
Bernardo Silva is no stranger to the program. He backed up former coach Alex Crozier as an assistant coach for 4 years, and his resume includes coaching stints at UCSB, Sac State, and CSU Bakersfield, where he led the Roadrunners to 2 of the best seasons in program history.
Bernardo has definitely come in with the whole Cal Poly 2.0, so that can be a lot, though I do think that everyone has kind of taken on the challenge really gracefully and embraced it.
I think last year, part of the challenges were when there were tough times, the sisterhood was kind of frail and it wasn't as connected as it needed to be. And so we've spent so much time building that it's brought us so close.
I don't think I've been on a team, maybe when I was younger, but I don't think I've been on a team where everyone kind of gets along with everyone. There's no one that I can't go make a joke to or hang out with. So I think that's really special. And I think Bernardo is definitely all about that. He really likes to bring that energy to practice, so definitely I would say more intense, more passionate.
I pride myself just in my coaching philosophy being a very relationship-driven coach, and so that's the environment that I think we've built within our program, not just from coaches to players, but also from players to players. And so when that is established, I think players will go through a brick wall for you, and because I do the same for them.
Silva's coaching strategy seems to be working. Despite a challenging schedule this season, Cal Poly went undefeated at home and ended the season winning 4 of their last 5 games, securing them a playoff berth and 2nd place in the Big West. After receiving a first-round bye in the opening round of the Big West Championship, the Mustangs beat 3rd seed Cal State Fullerton 1-0 to advance to the finals, where they will face rival and 5th seed UCSB. When Cal Poly takes to the field, they will not only be competing for their first Big West title in 21 years, but also an automatic bid to the NCAA Division I tournament. Reporting for Mustang News Sports, I'm Rocco Brickler.
Thank you, Rocco. Silva has really turned the team around this year. Last season, with Crozier's final year at the helm, the Mustangs didn't even have an opportunity to play in the tournament. So for them to be here today, playing in this title matchup, what a big opportunity for Silva. What a huge accomplishment on his part.
Absolutely, and I think it's a testament to the changes that he's made, not only in the team itself with so many transfers, but also in the team culture. Been under that Cal Poly 2.0 that Silva always talks about. It's that same team, obviously the same principles that they have, but then just with some updated stuff and with a bit more energy to it.
Mm-hmm. And this is the 2nd time he will coach the Mustangs against their rivals. The Blue-Green rivalry was the first conference game of the season back in September this year. And it was disappointing for the Mustangs as they lost 3-1 in Santa Barbara. That game ended the Mustangs' unbeaten streak at 9 matches, and that was their first loss for them this year. So the Gauchos scored first in the 38th minute that game, and while the Mustangs equalized in the second half, I remember the Gauchos scored less than a minute right after. Cal Poly had several chances to tie up the game again. Unfortunately, they fell short, and then 7 seconds left in that game, Cal Poly had an open net, and Santa Barbara added another to their 3-1 win.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I mean, that goal at the end, too. I mean, that was Shannon Perupsky coming out of her net and, being in a vulnerable spot. So, yeah, that happens, especially at an end of a game. But, yeah, that match was, the latest installment in a long series of matchups between these two teams. And Cal Poly has gone 9-7-6 since 2005 against UCSB. So, it's gone back and forth. There's been stretches on either side. And, UCSB took the last 2. Cal Poly took 3 before that. But what I think is an arguably more impressive statistic was right before both of those runs, Cal Poly and UCSB tied every matchup from 2016 to 2019 with 4 consecutive draws. And I think that just shows how closely these teams have matched up throughout the years.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And when we come back from break, we will look at more into the goalkeeper you mentioned, Shannon Prubsky.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
We said we'd never break the 3-second rule. Never do that. And never become a minivan mom.
Hey, Chris.
As parents, we say never a lot, but never happens. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back to Mustang Game Day. We are less than an hour away from kickoff down in Northridge. I'm Amanda Avila alongside my co-host Matthew Murin. And a rising star has emerged this season just in time for the Mustangs turnaround. Redshirt freshman goalkeeper Shannon Prubsky has stepped up as a starting keeper for Cal Poly. I had the chance to talk with her about her journey and her rising success earlier. Here's her story. A year ago, Shannon Prubsky was buried on the Cal Poly depth charts as a third-string goalkeeper. Now, the redshirt freshman is in the starting spot. She spent her first year developing behind veteran keeper Mackenzie Samuel, who held the job for 4 seasons. Prubsky anticipated redshirting when she came to San Luis Obispo.
So that first year was really just about development and just doing everything that I could to put myself at a good opportunity when my time came around for sophomore year.
Over the summer, Prubsky put in the work back home in Roseville, playing for the Iron Rose semi-professional club. The consistent playing minutes helped her adjust to the speed and intensity of higher-level competition, similar to the college season. However, it was redshirt junior Alyssa Zarlacki who started the year in goal for the Mustangs.
They kind of deemed us 1 and 2, and they told me I just got to keep working hard.
Prubsky's opportunity came in the 6th non-conference match of the 2025 season. During a week-long road trip to Nevada, Zarlacki played the first game in Reno that ended in a 2-2 draw. The day before the next match in Las Vegas, coaches told Prubsky in the hotel that she would be getting the start.
And I just kind of saw it as my opportunity that I had been waiting for, and I wanted to, make the most of it. I didn't have too much pressure. I felt prepared and I was ready.
That debut became the beginning of something special. Prubsky has since been named Big West Freshman of the Week 4 times and Big West Defensive Player of the Week earlier this season. But for Prubsky, her success starts with her teammates.
She's kind of always in my ear, telling me what she sees on the field, putting me where she needs me to be in order for us to stop whatever offense is coming at us. We're constantly communicating.
Senior defender Brendan Cole plays directly in front of her, taking goal kicks and leading the back line. Their growing chemistry has been a key part of the Mustangs' offensive success.
She's honestly like a bit of a little sister to me as well.
With 7 clean sheets this season, Prubsky has been a driving force for Cal Poly's second-place finish in the Big West with a record of 6-2-2. After finishing 9th in conference last year, the Mustangs have flipped the script. They are now a top contender for the 2025 Big West Championship title. And Shannon Prubsky has become one of the cornerstones for the program's future. For Mustang News Sports, I'm Amanda Avila.
I'm excited to see how Shannon matches up, especially against this tough UC Santa Barbara team that Cal Poly has faced only a few times in the Big West Championship, but the last time UCSB faced Cal Poly in the Big West postseason. They actually won the 2009 Big West title, and that was in penalty kicks. And that has been a theme of this matchup in the postseason throughout its history, because the year before, in 2008, UCSB also knocked Cal Poly out of the Big West tournament in penalty kicks as well. So it's needless to say, matches always come down to the wire. And do you think that's sort of a product of the rivalry itself?
Oh, absolutely. The blue-green rivalry. I mean, for any team here at Cal Poly, our rivals, Santa Barbara, those are the biggest games. But specifically for soccer, I mean, even looking at the men's side, that being like the most attended college soccer match in the nation, the women's huge attendance as well. It'll be interesting to see the crowd now that it is in Northridge. It's not on Santa Barbara's field. It's not on Cal Poly's field. I wonder kind of who will have more fans, who will be rooting for each other. But I'm just really excited for this game and that rivalry. I know we look forward to it. The teams look forward to it. I know the coach, they talk about the pressure and the crowd. So it's a whole different level, and I'm really excited.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the nature of a rivalry matchup. It's the nature of the gritty identities of both of these teams, and I think there's no doubt in my mind that that's the type of match we'll get today, especially considering how these teams have matched up throughout the year. I mean, as we heard Bernardo say earlier, it's that match, it might have been 3-1, but there was a goal in the final seconds, and both teams kind of had the advantage in either half. So we're going to get a gritty matchup, and I think it's whoever's going to come out of the gate fast, that's going to be one of the key things today. But we'll see how it shapes out, and either way, this is going to be one of the most important matchups in the conference this season. Whoever wins it gets a bid to the NCAA championship and the NCAA tournament, where they get to show their skills on the national scene. And I mean, that's what every player wants, right?
Yeah, that's what both teams are looking for today. When I talked to the players earlier, I know they're looking beyond this postseason. They're looking at nationals. Bernardo's already talked about it before. They have one of the best offenses in the nation. They have players like Brendan Cole on their defense, Shannon Prubsky playing up. It's a really great team, and they really have that opportunity, and they haven't done it since 2004. So if they got that chance here today, and it comes down to just an hour, and we'll find out after we watch the game, that's a huge opportunity, especially for Silva in his first year.
Yeah, and I mean, that match, it's coming around the corner, just a few minutes away now, and after the break here on Mustang Game Day, we'll be giving you the 3 keys to the match. Well, and stick around. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
We said we'd never break the 3-second rule. Never do that. And never become a minivan mom.
Hey, Chris.
As parents, we say never a lot, but never happens. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
We are taught you don't talk about your problems with nobody because you could get in trouble. And I've been through a lot. Anxiety, depression, sexual assault. When I decided to get help, my life changed. And the mental health box, that was one of the big tools. Accepting help means that we're allowing somebody to bless our life. It's freeing. We got stronger together. Love your mind.
Welcome back to Mustang Game Day with Matthew Murin and Amanda Avila. It's set to be a great competition between the Central Coast rivals today, but let's take a closer look at the matchup itself. Cal Poly and UC Santa Barbara faced off earlier this year with Santa Barbara taking the victory, but there's a lot more on the line for today's matchup.
Like we talked about earlier, on the line is an NCAA bid. The last time Cal Poly went to the NCAA tournament was in 2004, and they're looking for another chance here today. Cal Poly has is super excited for today. And I mean, I don't want to say anything, but this would be the first time that Cal Poly would have gone to the NCAA tournament since I've been born, since 2004. What about you, Matthew?
I don't know about that. I mean, I was there, barely, I will say, but for that championship in 2004. But I think the feeling was there. I mean, I was just a few months old, but I'm almost positive I celebrated the win when it happened. I'm going to have to call up some witnesses that were there on that day to confirm it, but since we don't have those at the moment, you'll just have to take my word for it. But it is super exciting that that possibility is on the table and that these players are, they're fierce competitors, and that's been their goal all year. Cal Poly knew that they were setting themselves up for success when they brought Silva in. So it's going to be a really, really great matchup between the teams this year. But before we get into, we're going to be going back down to Northridge just in a second here to look at what the atmosphere is like. But before that, some 3 keys for the match today. I mean, what's the main thing that we're looking at?
Yeah, the first key in the match is to play physical. That's the identity this team has had all season, especially with the rivalry game. That's so important. And Bernardo Silva has installed this identity in these players from the moment he took over as head coach at the start of the season. We've heard it from Silva himself. We heard it from Jesse Halliday. Grit, determination, and all-out effort. That's what it's going to take to win the games at Division I level in the Big West. And that's what these players have been doing to dig into that game in and game out throughout this conference run. To win this match and secure the Big West title, Cal Poly has to lean into their identity. They have to outwork CSUN and tire out this defense. It's going to be on the backs of all Cal Poly players, but look for Jesse Halliday and Annika Smith to lead with that physicality out the front of this team. But they need to take the ball to take advantage of their physicality.
Absolutely, and finding the forwards is going to be the second key for the Mustangs this game, when this team can really make those final decisive passes towards the forwards, towards Jesse Halliday and Annika Smith. The ball will be bound to go into the back of the net, but it all starts with a strong build-up from goalkeeper Shannon Porubsky, from defender Brendan Cole, and through the midfield with Sophia Minetti and Madeline Doherty. So it's going to have to be a possession-based game, and UCSB will not make that easy. They press high and they press hard. So Cal Poly will need to stay composed, play their game, and connect in the middle of the field. So clean balls to feet, well-placed through balls, and other, just taking advantage of chances will give the forwards the best chance to do what they do best, and that's scoring goals.
Absolutely, but to be able to play that way with confidence and in their regular system, Cal Poly will have to get on board early. UC Santa Barbara scored first in the team's matchup earlier this year, taking control of the pace of the play and overall feel of the game following the goal. Cal Poly has to flip the script today, as scoring first is going to be huge as it relates to who has the edge from a tactical standpoint. When you're up, you can go back to what works, and Cal Poly has fixed many of the problems they had playing from in front of earlier this season. In the past month, through conference play, Cal Poly has closed out matches, finding wins instead of draws. But that success has been built off of scoring first and imposing their will on opposing defenses. Once the Mustangs score, they can hold a press high, keep UC Santa Barbara in their own half, and pile on the pressure from there, if needed.
And these 3 keys are going to all combine to be really important throughout this matchup. And you have to combine not only the high press, not only these decisive passes into the final third, but also playing physical in order to really create a full matchup and a full 90 minutes of play here in this match. And I think, what's the most important key for you looking at this match?
I mean, I think honestly keeping calm and doing all those 3 things. This is a rivalry match. You can't get in your head. It's just playing their game, like you said, scoring first, being physical. They have the ability to do it. The first time that they played against them earlier this season I think it was a completely different team. That was Cal Poly's Big West opener. They're so different this year. Right now they are. So I think that as long as they keep calm, they play their game, they focus on those 3 keys, that is going to be what it will be the decider today.
You're absolutely right. Keeping calm, that allows you to play in your style and focus on those things that Silva's been talking about all year. Cal Poly 2.0, a new system. That's what we've heard, and that culture, even though they still have the same values, that new culture has really transformed this team and allowed them to find the success that they have this year. And I mean, Bernardo Silva, as a coach coming in to Cal Poly and in his first season finding such success, did you expect it when you heard he was coming?
I mean, I think we all hoped for it. I think it's hard because Alex Crozier is the only head coach for 33 years, and for someone to step in, that's a huge responsibility. For Bernardo to take that on, his past experience in the Big West, at SAC, too, in the Big Sky, and when he was head coach at Bakersfield, he really turned that team around. So I did kind of expect it, but not really to this outcome where they would be in the final right now with a team as good as they are. And like Ty talked about earlier, 6 transfers. The team looks a lot different this year, but he switched players around. He put Brennan Cole in the defense. He put a freshman in the goalkeeper. Yeah, I just think that he did a really great job with what he had, and that is why we are here today before this match.
No, absolutely. And I mean, to change a team's culture in your first year, that's not an easy thing to do, especially with Alex Crozier being there for so long. Such a storied history, being the only coach in Cal Poly program history. To stay that long, to stay 33 years, I'm really impressed with Alex Crozier. And he led this team to 3 conference titles, many big stages on the national scene. So Alex Crozier left an impact not only on the program, but I think on everyone here at Cal Poly. We really love to talk about him as much as we can because he is so important. He's so important to this program, to what we mean when we talk about Cal Poly athletics. It's a family. We not only focus on the sports themselves, but also the family, the culture, and the connections behind that. But before we get to the game itself, we actually have another live shot from down in Northridge with Andrew Aganiga. Andrew, how's it going down there?
Hey guys, I'm down here at Cal State Northridge at the Matador soccer field, and as you can see behind me, it's both players from both sides are warming up, and they're getting ready to compete in the newest installment of the Big West Women's Soccer Championships. It's going to be a really good match today. It's also going to be really hot. It's a sweltering 86 degrees out here, but fans are still beginning to pile in back at the stands. It's a neutral site, so fans are slowly starting to pile in, so I can only imagine how chaotic and crazy and fun the atmosphere would be if it took place at either Harder Stadium or Spano Stadium. But I think we're in for a good one here, guys. Back to you.
Sounds amazing, Andrew. And Andrew, it looks like he's keeping cool down there. It looks like it's going to be a great match, but just a few minutes away from kickoff. Ready to see a really exciting matchup, and the Big West Championship is always a great time, and I'm excited to see it. I think everyone is. So, Amanda, what's left?
I mean, what's in this game? My only final thoughts are just this rivalry, and it's just, again, like we keep going back to it, but for this to happen for the championship title match. I'm really excited for the game. I want to know how the players are feeling, how they're putting up with the pressure, if they're keeping calm, if both teams are playing this game. Cal Poly, great offense. UC Santa Barbara, great defense. It'll be interesting to see who scores first, and I really think who scores first will take the game. What do you think, Matthew?
Absolutely, and that's I think on the same wavelength. It's going to be who scores first, but with just 15 minutes now left until kickoff down in Northridge before the Big West Championship, that'll do it for us here on Mustang Game Day.
Yes, thanks so much for joining us. A big thanks to all of the behind-the-scenes staff with Mustang News and Thomas Morales for making this possible. I'm Amanda Avila, closing out Mustang Game Day with Matthew Murin. Have a great rest of your day.